Hello everyone, Robin Burns, Family Business Alliance, here with Jeff Koeze. We are at his location in Burlingame, and we brought his favorite flavor of ice cream, Cappucino chip, from our friends at Kilwins. How are you today, Jeff?
I'm great.
Good,
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Please share with us your family story.
My great-grandfather came here from the Netherlands, like so many other people. He worked in one of the furniture factories and was a serial failed entrepreneur. Then his last venture was as kind of a food distributor. So if you look, there's a truck in the store that says butter, eggs, and produce. And that's an exact replica. I mean, it's an actual truck, but the back end we had built to replicate a photo. So we were kind of food distributors. He had two sons who were working with him. One son founded a couple grocery stores, which were in this neighborhood, and then the other son founded Koeze Manufacturing Company. Made peanut butter, roasted nuts, a whole variety of stuff. At that time, my dad was working for him.
Okay.
Having gone off to college and came back.
The grandfather died unexpectedly, correct?
Yes, he did. So
right,
he died
so thrown right into leadership.
Yep. He did well, and then I came here now 25 years ago from another career, and we had a somewhat more organized transition.
Right.
The most unusual thing about this story from the family business context, I think, is there's only been one branch of the family at any point. My dad was one of five, and he was the only one involved in the business. Now my children have small shares, so we're starting on a transition.
Well, what are you excited about that's happening here at Koeze?
So it's a really exciting time. We got a new vice president of merchandising, of marketing started. Our plant manager has been here 5 years, but from our perspective, he just started yesterday. New purchasing manager, gonna have a new controller because my controller is retiring. So I call it fish examines water. We have had all this team together for so long, and we're so used to working with each other. Now it's like, well, why do we do what we do? What really are our values? What are we trying to accomplish here? In a way that we've always thought about it, but we haven't really been forced to explain it to brand new people who don't know anything.
Right. And then with that comes a whole new kind of re-energization of the organization, right? An evaluation of what, like you said, why you did what you did, and does that make sense today? And how exciting for you to have all these new insights coming in from outside perspective.
So folks come in and they're like, oh, a lot of surprises. It's fun. It's fun.
Well, when I read online, I did not realize you guys were really known for the peanut butter.
Well, that's our oldest brand. So that's really that goes back.
And I was only familiar with the actual the cashews and the nuts, but I didn't realize the claim to fame really was the peanut butter. You explained a couple different generations that your family business entity had transferred through, right? So looking at, your younger self or the next generation as you now make these plans with your children, what have you learned or what advice would you give them?
The number one thing that I think people need to think about is how much time it takes. How much time it takes to develop family members, new leaders. I don't think people get off the dime on the transition planning and all of the estate planning all the time as much as they should.
Right.
We certainly hadn't until this last transition, and even then, we could use more.
Right. Lord, so begin today.
It's
if
whatever it is.
Started, you need to begin today.
Yeah, that's an excellent way to put it.
Yeah.
Or yesterday.
Yeah.
If that's possible.
Go back in time.
Yeah.
And what are some of the programs that you've participated in? I know you've been attending a lot of events, but what about peer group involvement? What have you appreciated about the peer group? How has the peer group helped you?
The three things that I think everyone should learn in a well-run group is learn to be a better listener. You have some people who can give you some self-knowledge by reflecting back to you, which is often hard to get. You're a better thinker. If you work on other people's problems, you tend to think about your own.
Oh, interesting.
Anybody could benefit from that kind of a setting.
Right. So listening, self-reflection, and what was your third?
Just thinking.
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking.
Yeah. All good traits of good leaders, right? And family business leaders at that.
Yeah.
So I want to also ask you, I read that you, when we're thrown into the position of leadership, really and your prior career history as a professor delved into books. What would you encourage our other family business members to pick up?
There's a book out, it's the second edition of a book called, well, there's two books, I can't remember. One is called Influence, the other is called Persuasion. I think this is the new edition of Persuasion, and it's a social psychologist approach to kind of like how you talk people into stuff.
Oh.
So he like embedded himself with like used car salesmen and house siding salesmen and all kinds of people, and it's like, what are the methods that they use? And it's super interesting.
Yeah.
The guy's super entertaining, so that's my tip of the day.
So what does your family enjoy, other than going out for a scoop of ice cream? What does your family enjoy doing in Michigan?
Well, my current family consists of in Michigan, because my kids are gone.
Empty nest.
Are my spouse, me, and my two dogs. Our thing that we do is we go out and hike and run the dogs.
Fantastic.
This is an unbelievable part of the world where in under an hour we can be in vast national forest lands. You know, and they seem, based on my experience being out there, I don't see a lot of people, except at the busier spots. It's underutilized.
Yeah.
I always love the state for that.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for participating in our first Family Freeze. If you would like to participate in our Family Freeze series, give us a call. Look forward to seeing you all at a next event, and please introduce yourself to Jeff if you don't know him already. Thanks so
again.
much,
Thank
Jeff.
you.